We are seeing nothing less than a massive backlash against Democrat mayors and governors as petitions to remove them are surging across the nation. In this video, we're going to take a look at the latest petition efforts to oust ultra-left politicians from office. And we're also going to see why such efforts may actually be just beginning. You're going to absolutely love it. Greetings, everyone. Patriots all across the globe. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you as always. I look forward to this time each and every day with you. If this is your first time here at this channel, a warm welcome to you. I post 2 videos a day analyzing current events, analyze some super awesome conservative trends so that you can live in the present in light of even better things to come. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that subscribe button. It'll be an absolute privilege to have you as a regular part of this channel, where each and every day we get to together celebrate the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. All right, before we dive in here, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's none other than collagen, available at my special website, healthwithsteveturley.com. Now, if you don't know, collagen may be the closest thing we'll ever get to a real fountain of youth. Many health experts now agree that consuming collagen is crucial as it gets to renew and revitalize how you look and feel. Taking collagen regularly can revitalize your body and make your skin, bones, and even your hair look and feel more healthy and youthful. Now, if you're interested in learning more about collagen and getting your own supply, then visit healthwithsteveturley.com or just click on that link below and check it out. In fact, if you click on that link today, you can get up to 51% off your order. So don't wait. Click on that link below and get your own collagen supply today. I use it in my coffee, stir it in there. It tastes great. Gives me a lot of energy. All right, gang. Let's dive right in here. Petitions to remove left-wing Democrat mayors and governors are surging throughout the nation. So let's start in Seattle, home of the failed Marxist experiment, which of course is a redundant phrase. Marxism is by definition a failure. But Seattle, of course, was home to the Chaz Autonomous Zone, right? The racially segregated communist utopia where three people were shot and killed under the leadership of a residential warlord. A King County court judge has cleared the way for a petition to go forward in an effort to recall the disaster of a mayor, Jenny Durkan. Now, if you don't know, really just a few months back, she was on top of the world. This Jenny Durkan, she was the darling of the future of progressivism. She was one of these, up-and-coming white bourgeois liberal progressives and was considered one of the future leaders of the Democratic Party. She is, as of today, officially politically dead, and she died as a result of the catastrophe in Seattle, constituted not only by the race riots, but also by the utterly insane and, frankly, I believe, impeachable dereliction of her law enforcement responsibilities in allowing the Chaz or the CHOP autonomous zone to be set up on public and private property unimpeded for several weeks, resulting, as we heard, in the death of a number of people. And so it's no surprise that we're seeing a recall effort, which is dubbed Fire the Mayor by organizers. Now, according to the recall, simply put, and I'm quoting them here, quote, Mayor Durkan's complete negligence in protecting the rights and safety of the people of Seattle has made a clear case that she is no longer fit to govern, close quote. Now, keep in mind, this is primarily a leftist effort to oust the mayor. They're particularly outraged by the mayor's use of tear gas to disperse the crowds, the rioters, and the protesters. And this is why I think she's actually so freaked out over this. She's actually asking the King County judge to reconsider her ruling to allow a recall petition to proceed against this mayor. And so she's coming out and saying, hey, I didn't do that. I didn't make that decision to make tear gas, to use the tear gas against it. The police chief did that. I'd never do that, which again for me is so bizarre because she continues to abdicate her law enforcement responsibility. But nevertheless, in a motion that was filed the other day, Mayor Durkan argued it's not her job to dictate Seattle police policy. So she's trying to weasel her way out of this. I don't think it's going to work. I think the writing's on the wall here. If this petition goes forward, she almost certainly will be impeached and go down in history as one of the most disgraced mayors of our lifetimes. Let's go on over to Michigan, where there have been a number of recall efforts aimed at the insane Governor Gretchen Whitmer. A recall petition was formally submitted to Michigan's Board of State Canvassers at the beginning of June. And while the petition was rejected by the board, claiming that it lacked clarity and factual basis, whatever the heck that means, another group called Restore Freedom has formed a recall petition in the hopes of finally ousting their ultra-left tyrannical governor, who at one time, by the way, was considered a possible running mate for Joe Biden. But alas, Whitmer turned out to be the wrong color. But in the meantime, the board of the state canvassers did approve a petition to strip Whitmer of her special emergency powers, which allows her to take actions without the legislature's approval during declared emergencies. And of course, Whitmer's flipping out over this. How dare you defy me? And again, because she's become such an icon of the tyrannical left, she is using the occasion of these petitions to raise money to fill her political coffers. So we got recall efforts for Seattle's ultra-left mayor and Michigan's Goonie governor. Let's head on over to California. There have been a number of recall efforts at ousting the governor, Gavin Newsom. Now, 2 have been rejected, but the third one seems to be gaining some steam here. There are currently over 70 community Facebook groups advocating the recall petition. And they have some time. Their deadline isn't until November of 2020, late November. At issue is how Newsom handled the COVID debacle. For many, Newsom acted more like a tyrant who put the entire state of California under house arrest for like 3 months. And he's doing it again. And so petition signing events are being held across California in an effort to oust the governor. In Boise, Idaho, efforts are underway to kick out the Democrat mayor, Lauren McLean, and a Boise City Council member, Lisa Sanchez. Now, the petition accuses McLean of actually lying to the public, campaigning as a moderate, but then turning around and governing as an ultra-liberal radical leftist, in particular, with her draconian efforts during the COVID lockdown, as well as her disparagement towards police and law enforcement after the race riots broke out. Same with Sanchez. She used cultural Marxist rhetoric to disparage our law enforcement. Idaho is very, very conservative. It's almost entirely red, for the exception of Boise and Moscow up north, where the University of Idaho is. And so it's no wonder that the voters are indeed rising up against these ultra-left-wing activists disguised as civil servants. Now, make no mistake, these Democrat leaders are panicked over this. They're utterly and completely panicked. And they're panicked because they see a new political paradigm emerging right before their very eyes. One that no longer operates according to left versus right norms, or conservative versus liberal, Republican versus Democrat, right? Instead, we're entering into a new political reality that's increasingly defined by a political movement or sentiment known as populism. The key here is that populism is a very different kind of political paradigm that doesn't pit against each other Democrat versus Republican or right versus left per se. Rather, populism sees a new antagonism between the people and the political class, the ruled versus their rulers. And so populists tend to be deeply suspicious of our elite class, our political, corporate, media, university class, who are seen more as ruling for their own benefit rather than for the benefit of those they claim to represent. And so populism cuts across the grain of both political parties. And we saw this with Brexit, back in June of 2016, where otherwise very loyal constituents of the left-wing Labour Party crossed over and voted for Brexit. They voted to leave the European Union, while their Labour Party representatives overwhelmingly voted to remain with the EU. We saw this with the Trump campaign in 2016. Nearly 200 counties in Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota that voted for the Democrat presidential candidate in every single presidential election over the past 30 years suddenly defected and voted for Trump by upwards of a 20-point margin. So populism cuts across the grain of both political parties and inevitably realigns politics around the new animosity between the people and the political class, the ruled and the rulers. And so I think we're seeing just the beginning of this recall movement. We'll obviously have to keep our eyes on how things develop here. But it does appear that this latest round of recall efforts is but another indicator that we are indeed seeing the rise of a new political order in our midst. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on the primary elections that took place a couple of days ago. They show that President Trump is absolutely surging in support, while the Democrats are mired in a civil war that could cost them control of Congress in November. You're not going to want to miss this, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.